All right, so again, the whole reason for stopping out here was the fact that we started trading sideways on like no volume. That's typically rare, especially above VWAP. It's not something I want to be involved with. Like BIOC didn't trade BIOC today because they didn't have any borrows. Shocker. But anytime you see like action like this, see this whole period here, we're just trading sideways, and the volume is like non-existent, especially right here from like 12:30 to 1 o'clock. There's literally almost no volume, but it can't go lower. That's a red flag. It's sort of like a spin-off on the low volume hold pattern. If you read my blog, I talk about it. But there's just absolutely no volume, and these things are supposed to die here. We had the little early morning. It went. Now we're sub VWAP. We're just consolidating sub VWAP. The volume is going away. This is where this thing is supposed to roll over and die. The fact that it doesn't is a pretty big red flag. It just means there's no selling pressure. It's probably just a whole bunch of shorts all just sitting there looking at each other. Everybody's waiting for the big washout, and it just never comes. So then as soon as a couple start to cover, then it's the snowball effect and they all cover. So if you're sitting in a short and you recognize that the volume is very, very non-existent or very, very low, and you're just kind of floating sideways, you should be on high alert. That's typically a red flag, and you're usually going to want to cover up because it's probably not going to end well. So keep that in mind. So that again, that's the whole reason I just decided to take it off here. The fact that we were trading sideways, couldn't get under VWAP, I just was like, I'm done with it. It was just a midday scalp anyway. I wasn't looking for a big move. LPX, I didn't even mean to enter LPX here. Actually, it was a fat finger. Just took it off flat. I was interested in this thing because I saw a Monaco trader shorting it early on, and it just wasn't dying. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, great, here we go. The play was probably very crowded and just couldn't get lower. So I was interested. I was hoping for a late day fade to get short. But if you see the volume just all throughout here, literally all day, the volume is very, very uniform. It's pretty much the same throughout the entire day. So if you were thinking about shorting this, there's absolutely zero reason to be involved anywhere in here. There's just nothing about the volume that says short. There's no exhaustion. It's not doing anything crazy. There's no edge anywhere in taking a short there. It would just be you being impatient. It would be the only reason to short literally anywhere in here. So I didn't touch it because I was hoping that for some volume speed up or something to give me a signal that there was a little bit of an edge on the short side, and we just never got it today. So I was not really able to do too much with it. So again, this was kind of backsidey a little bit. But again, nothing about the volume really agreed with that. So I just I fat fingered it, like I said, by accident and just took a very small loss. OSUR, kind of the same deal. I entered here just thinking, I was kind of looking at the financials here, and I didn't really like the company financials. I thought it was up a little too much. So I attempted a short. No particular reason other than we finally saw a red candle, and I could risk, pretty easy risk off the highs. Not the best trade in the world. It started to work for a minute, and then popped right back up. And you could tell how little confidence I had in this trade because as soon as it went red, I only had like 1,000 shares, or not even. But as soon as it popped back up over my average, I was just out immediately. I didn't want anything to do with it. Probably shouldn't have been in the trade to begin with. I like to use volume cues for my trades, and there wasn't really much of a cue there. Just not a very disciplined trade, so I just cut it off with a paper cut. RGSE was a midday runner. Anytime, we know what this company is very well. Anytime this thing is moving higher on big volume, I'm probably going to attempt a short scalp on it. But that was really, there's nothing too technical to talk about this trade. I piked it pretty good. But like I said, I wasn't looking for a lot. Typically, if there's something that's running like this randomly midday, I'll usually leave it alone entirely because these midday spikes are nothing like 9:30 morning spikes. They're very different. They typically have very different catalysts, and they behave very differently. And they tend, the midday runners that are spiking, there's usually not a whole lot going on in the market midday. So if there's something that's really spiking, it attracts a lot more attention than usual. So the midday runners, a lot of times they'll spike, they'll pull a little bit, and then they'll just end up continuing to spike or grind higher. Because at that time of the day, there's a lot of traders just sitting there bored. So if they see something that's moving pretty fast, they tend to all gravitate towards it and crowd it. So a lot of times I'll leave the midday spikes alone completely. But RGSE is just too good to pass up. Just knowing what it is. So I saw some what I thought was buyer exhaustion, and I just gave it a short scalp try based on that. I made like 9 cents on it. Nothing crazy, just a little midday scalp. And XGTI still holding this short swing. This action is just ugly. Nobody wants anything to do with this thing. They just bought a company for like $15 million or so. They gave them $6.5 million in cash and then 9 and change in a promissory note. They don't have $9 million. They don't have any money actually. They need to do an offering, and they will be doing an offering soon. And the pricing should be pretty ugly because this company is absolute nonsense. So that's the whole reason I'm in this swing. I'm hoping there's an offering in the next few days. I'm okay leaving it on for a little while as long as it's behaving. But I do have a fairly large position. So this is not one I'm looking to fight with. If it gets back, over closer to $2, I'll be out. Not something I'm looking to add to. But I'm just hoping that this works out and we get an offering soon. I'm thinking the pricing should be down around $1.50 or lower. So I'm just hoping for a nice washout on the offering news, and I'll cover into that immediately. But that's the idea there. Just the fact that they have no money, and they now just took on a lot of debt. They took on, like I said, $9.5 million of debt. And I think the market cap of this entire company is literally like $12 or $13 million. They're just an absolute joke. So, that's the idea there. And that was it. So good day. Like I said, just those two little really, really nice green day today. And just those two little paper cuts. I think I had a grand total, Grand total of $160 in losses. Those two little paper cuts. So really, really, really good risk management today. Very happy with the day. And looking forward to getting that Centerpoint Vision account going and having borrows for some more of this stuff. Very, very excited about that. So that should be happening in the next week or so. And then hopefully I'll have some more videos. Like I said, I'm only going to do them when I have something good to talk about or something bad to talk about, or when I have a lot of trades. So hopefully with access to that Vision account, I'll be trading some more stuff and have some more videos for you guys. All right, but that was it today. Good solid day. And looking forward to continuing to do this. I enjoy these because, it's nice to say all this stuff out loud. I get to drill into my head more, and at the same time, it's helping you, it's helping me. It's good. So I enjoy these videos. I look forward to continuing to do them in the future. All right, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow.